Why do we look down on utopianism? More specifically, why is utopianism shunned while realism is much more accepted? The easy answer to this question could simply be that utopianism is unattainable and kind of boring. And why would we believe in something that is unattainable and boring? But the real question is, what makes utopianism incredible and realism credible? In his The 20-Year Crisis, E.H. Carr says that utopianism grafted its belief in progress onto its belief in an absolute ethical standard. But he describes realism as relativist and dynamic. So what does this really mean? Well, Morgenthau's fourth principle of realism explains that realism has an unavoidable tension between moral command and the requirements of political action. He goes on to say basically that the state has no right to put the liberty of the individual before national survival. I think this means that the ethical choice isn't always the right political choice. So where utopianism is bound to an ethical standard, realism has, as one of its 6 principles, the realization that we must sometimes break this ethical standard in order to progress as a nation. In addition, Carr also quotes Bertrand Russell, saying that ethical notions are very seldom a cause, but almost always an effect, suggesting that ethical standards, the very basis of utopianism, are more likely to be used to explain why we did something rather than the reason for doing it in the first place. And Morgenthau, in his third principle of realism, takes this a step further when he says that interest is the governing principle that influences man, and that motives of public virtue will only influence man for a time.